everyone, my name is Isabel and I'm going to be your speaker for today. To those who have not been blessed with knowing who Florence Welch is, you're in for a special treat. This woman is a hurricane of pure bliss. She has impacted so many lives all over the world, varying from different ages and different ethnicities. Her voice was made publicly known in 2009 when she became the front woman of the band Florence and the Machine. They debuted their album Lungs, and ever since then she's become an unstoppable woman. Although she's still considered underrated, make no mistake, this voice and her attitude are unlike any female in today's music world. Florence Leontine Mary Welch was born under the Virgo sun on August 28, 1986 in Camberwell, London. Now, the London music scene seems to have brought out this wild child in Florence. In her last studio album, High as Hope, she recalls of a lot of times when she would get drunk and have a lot of issues with substance abuse. Because of those experiences, they manifested it into her songs, Lungs. Now, in Lungs, she talked a lot about partying and being crazy, and I feel like that's where a lot of her things come from. Now, in her second album, Ceremonials, she talks a lot about dark and Renaissance-like lyrics. A lot of people speculate that's because during this time, she was going through her alcohol addiction. And then after Ceremonials came my favorite album, How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful. In my opinions, it's one of the most important albums in human history. It's had such an impact on so many people because of how deep and profound her lyrics are. In How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful, she talks a lot about unrequited love, really painful breakups, and eventually finding herself. Then we move on to her last album, High as Hope, that I had mentioned earlier. Now, this album was unlike any other album. This was a side of Florence that was very raw and so personal. We had never seen Florence like this, ever. We saw a side of her that we didn't expect for her to ever share with us because she's kind of known to be sort of secretive about her own personal life. So we were very thankful to see and get a glimpse of her life eventually. Now, I finally got to see Florence in 2018 for the first time since being a fan since the album Lungs. I saw her at the Hollywood Bowl, and that experience was surreal and it'll never be forgotten. I could see the emotions of Florence reacting with the fans and everybody. She gave all of herself. Now, the thing is, Florence always gives all of herself in her concerts. She's actually very known to do that. It's kind of funny because she's actually a very soft-spoken person if you see her in interviews, but in concerts, she has such a powerful voice. It's really incredible, and like I mentioned, it's sort of funny to see that contrast of the person on stage versus the person talking to you. So it's safe for me to say that she'll always be a part of my life. She continues to help me when I don't have the answers to my own problems. I can't put it into words how I feel about this woman. I'm just grateful that I got to grow up with her music, and whether I encounter another issue in my life as I grow older, I know that I'm always going to fall back upon her. So if you haven't given Florence a chance, I suggest you go and listen to her and read into her lyrics because you might just learn something about yourself that you didn't know before. She deserves all the fans she has for creating really incredible music, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Thank you so much.